The following is rated M for mature.
I have a bad feeling about this.
Greetings, my fellow blockade runners, and welcome to another pure email show. I apologize if this show is not full of bells and whistles like some others have. It is directed towards those who want their voices heard. So, let's not waste any time, and jump right in.
Mail, motherfucker!
Farzad writes, I was just wondering what your opinion is on the announcement a while back, that character companions can no longer be killed through your actions as a player character. I at first was shocked to hear of this, since that seemed to be a issue I thought was great for the game, since it gave weight to your actions in having consequences that could directly affect your character and gameplay. But apparently the playtesters thought this was a bad idea, or didn't believe the developers when they stated that if they did this they would lose their companion characters permanently. Was that permanence too much for playtesters to swallow? Well sir, I have to say that I feel the same way. When I watched old interviews with Daniel Erickson, I was almost drooling at the idea of companion deaths like in other BioWare games. Introducing that feature into an MMO was simply an amazing concept. Do I understand why they took it out? Sure. There will be those idiots who will kill their healing companion, then complain about it, and give BioWare a migraine. They did give us the opportunity to send a companion to the brig, or encase them in carbonite, and they will stay there until you release them, which could be years. Is that a neat feature? Sure. Does it make sense for someone to stick around after you treat them like that? Hell no. They did say, however, that you can opt to not take the slave collar off of Vet, so I could see her being like that, but unless they have some story concept to support why every character would stick around through all that, it might just get dumb. Which depresses the hell out of me. I was hoping BioWare would go big or go home. But they are settling for the middle of the road. They are still introducing some pretty groundbreaking things, but companion deaths. Man. That would have been awesome. If I killed a very important companion, might I regret it down the road? I might, sure. But isn't that what makes role-playing games fun and unique? I should move on to another email before I get depressed thinking about it. Here is an email from William. He writes, First off, let me thank you for bringing a level-headed perspective to the hype, and looking past the wall it puts up. I have watched all 3 episodes and found myself nodding along the entire time. More to the point, your talk about the collector's edition store was right on. I myself have pre-ordered it but feel it was a spur-of-the-moment decision and am already feeling buyer's remorse. When it comes to the store, I feel like I am being taunted with a mystery box. We don't know what could be in the box. It could be amazing or it could be tickets to take a tour of the garbage facility. Also, correct me if I am wrong, but they have not even officially confirmed the monthly subscription will be $15. All we know is that there will be a subscription fee of a yet-to-be-determined amount. Sure, it is logical to assume they will stick with the $15 price point, but I can still remember when I first started playing EverQuest, the subscription fee was $10, then $12, and I still remember the newsletter they sent out announcing the new $15 pricing plan. Well, William, thank you for the kind words and support, sir. And you are correct, they have not said anything about a pricing plan. I have heard many people say they are worried about that. Since they were scared into pre-order, and now they are locked into a game that might have a high subscription price, especially since how expensive the collector's edition was. Personally, I think the monthly fee will be right around the usual $15 mark. But it would not surprise me if they try to scoot it up to $16 to $18. There has also been much talk about a lifetime subscription. I have never been a big fan of those. Sure, the price is cheap, but it is still an MMO. God knows if it will live long enough to reap the benefits. Our next email is from Alex. He writes, "Dear fellow blockade runner, I just wanted to say that it's nice to find a place to criticize some of the more odd or annoying things related to Tower, without getting trolled. Great to see someone who is just an honest fan, and wants to hear everyone's opinions. Now on to my second point. I agree that the way they handled the whole pre-ordering was kind of strange. I also thought it was strange that there was no information on what the in-game merchant you got was for. That was my main reason in also deciding to go with the Digital Deluxe Edition. At least with that I knew what I was getting. And your point about the poor Tower fans who went to Comic-Con to support Tower and BioWare, just to get the pre-ordering sprung on them? I hadn't even thought of that. A very good point. Anyway, I know I'm kind of late to respond about the whole pre-ordering fiasco, but I just saw your YouTube channel and had to email you. Keep up the great work and honesty." Well, Alex, thanks for the support and you are very welcome. And don't ever feel like you were too late to post anything. Anytime anyone ever remembers something, even if it covers a topic from last year, stand up and yell. Our next email comes from Slugfest, a member of Rogue Squadron. He writes, "Had to send you a quick email about the CE versus digital version of Tower. I felt exactly the same way. No info on the store items made me purchase the digital version instead. Lack of information can be worse than too much information, something BioWare has no friggin' concept of, it seems." Well, Alex, I know how you feel, sir. Our next email comes from a YouTube user who is no stranger to broadcasting videos, Prince Sephiroth. She writes, "Hi, CR91. First of all, I want to say I love your new show on YouTube. You're a rare breed of fan. One that can express his excitement for the upcoming game SW Tower, without kissing the ass of BioWare, or calling anyone who has any doubts or gripes about the game a troll. I wish you were a moderator on the official Tower website. That place could use some saving. Anyway, the reason I'm writing you is because I just watched your show in which you talked about the way BioWare handled pre-orders for Tower, and I have to tell you your thoughts literally mirrored mine on the subject. The entire pre-order process seemed rushed and poorly executed. It seemed it was orchestrated because BioWare wanted all of us to hurry up and buy a game none of us even have the release date for yet. And as for the CE, they didn't really even give us any info on the special vendor that buyers of that unbelievably expensive version of the game would get to shop it. Also, and this is just my opinion, but for a game that has yet to see a release date, has a very closed and exclusive beta, and has items we don't really know more than squat about, $150 is quite a lot to ask for. So, much like yourself, I turned my back on the CE and bought the Digital Deluxe instead. Which kind of hurts, as this is the first time I've really opted not to buy the CE of a game I really wanted. I even told myself before the big pre-order fiasco went down that if Bauer made a CE of this game, I'd get it. So much for that. But they're asking a lot of money from fans for a game that has yet to see a release date. Now, back in my teenage days I'd be foaming at the mouth to pay $150 for this game at the stage we are currently in. I wouldn't care. But I'm older. I'm wiser. I manage money better now than I did in my acne and boys too many years. Plus in today's economy, that just seems like too much cash to pay for a game we have no idea when we'll get to play, and no freaking idea what is going on with this special vendor in the CE. Also, I have no desire to play with Amalgastal, nor am I a creeper who wants to read some guy's diary, no matter how much of a collective it is. I guess BioWare just assumed that we all wanted this game so badly that we'd beg them to take our money just for a chance to say, I might be playing the game this year. Well, I'm one fan that doesn't fit that mold. Sincerely, Prince Sephiroth. Well, Prince Sephiroth, All I can do is nod my head because you are on the same wavelength as I. And yes, the lack of info about the merchant seemed to bother many more people than I ever thought. Maybe BioWare should be listening to this as well. Any other podcast I found about pre-order was very supportive of what BioWare had to release. BioWare, if you were there, start listening to all of your fans. Not just the popular ones. There are obvious and very viable complaints here. You are even losing money. Many of these people would have spent more money on the collector's edition if you would have known yourself what you were offering. Think about it. But anyway, let's move on. I want to take this time to highlight one of our community members with some talent. A viewer by the name of Sam Sheru sent me a nicely drawn picture of a Stormtrooper helmet. Very cool. In the video description I will post a link to his blog site, so you can all check out his artwork. I want to do something like this every episode. If you have anything you would like for me to showcase on the show, whether it be artwork, a YouTube channel, or even your guild website, let me know. Send me an email with some info about your topic. I'll take a look and throw it up on the screen. I want to help to strengthen this community, so maybe it will become something important, instead of what Warcraft's community turned into. I know it might be a shot in the dark, but unless people try to make things better, nothing will ever get done. Unfortunately, I am running out of time. But I wanted to touch on something that happened just yesterday. Stephen Raid posted on the forums that there will be no beta this weekend. Then he said something that made my heart drop. There may be further beta testing weekends in September, but we're not going to guarantee it. Oh damn. It really made me wonder what the hell happened during this week's testing. He said they just had to do some data crunching and had to make some major decisions before they continue. I remember when they announced the beta weekends starting early in September, that Blaine Christine was very confident. But now? Oh boy. I mean, it could be nothing. But logic says that something did not go over well at all. Could it be that they listened to too many of the overpopular and positive people for too long? Now maybe my fellow blockade runners are in their testing? Yeah, I know, it's a stretch. But it is a major possibility. If anyone out there was testing, let us know. I am not asking you to break your agreement, but just let us know if there seemed to be things that needed little or big improvements. The only thing I found so far was someone saying that the game lagged out constantly and seemed to have major server issues. Granted, this is only the first weekend, but this will still make people very nervous. It's a common problem that all MMOs will have, but the fact that they are anticipating shutting it down for this whole month leads me to believe that more than one issue arose. Unfortunately, Stephen Raid did tweet that they will not be giving out information about how the first weekend went, but let's just hope they fix it. It's all we can do without being given any insight. But in closing, I hope the people who complain about my show can now see that I am not making this stuff up. Other people around the community have the same invalid feelings. Keep the emails coming and I will continue to try and answer as many of them as soon as I can. Maybe one day I can actually get a documentary episode out. You can contact me via email at blockaderunner2011@yahoo.com, or you can try out my new Twitter page. Still not sure what it is, or how it works, but feel free to join and watch me fumble through it like an idiot. Should be fun. Until next time, this is CR91, signing off.